Yeah. Yeah, alright. I can't hear you for some reason. Yeah, this might be something on my end. I'll be clear. What? Shit. Alright. Maybe. We'll just let them do their callies. It's a bit of a. I feel bad for the stream right now, but you know, we're gonna just kind of get this sorted. If we want to try and just take it for quali, I can figure this out and then just that. Yeah, I'll check again just to make sure. But yeah, so you just can't be heard at all for some reason. I think there's a separate one that's actually like allow my voice to be heard. I think that's the problem, but I don't know where that is. If anyone in chat actually knows, that'd be handy as hell so we can get this shit going. Share broadcast settings, yeah. 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 I got all of those ticked, yeah. That's one of them. Setting. Or maybe it's in audio settings. Oh no, I don't think so. It's just the setting that you have to have on. Yeah, do you want to try it through yours actually? You do it through yours as well, just in case it'll work through yours. Because you'll definitely be able to hear your audio through yours. But for now, we'll just go through quali. You try to get that set up and we'll just hope that it works through mine. But yeah, just post your Twitch link up in the driver's chat, so obviously you wouldn't have access unless you have access to the commentators streams chat. Then put it up in there. Yeah, I know, but if you just post your link, yeah, people will go to it. But look through the grid. Mitch has done a 128.3 on his softs for the first banker on the soft tyres, with a 130 from Ivola. It's a new name. We are seeing this week with Paul Harrison, the only medium tyre runner so far, doing a 130.5. Only a little bit behind, but then Jesse does a 128.4. I'm not quite sure what times are good around here because I wasn't racing previously, but 28.3 seemed pretty good from what I know. I've done 28 flat in time trial, so these guys definitely going quite quick to be doing those sort of times. Is the next one coming up on track, but Short Mark's coming up on track. He's now brought himself right into the championship fight after last round. Oh, and he's spun on his quali lap, but he's now 11 points behind the leader after XD DNF'd out of Austria, and H Taylor spun whilst being right behind Short Marcus. So it's really opened the championship up and it's put 11 points between the three drivers of XD, H Taylor and Short Marcus. A few more drivers on the medium tyre though, getting their laps done. 32.1 done by Truck Fireman to go P5 with a 31.9 on his set of soft tyres. We'll be looking to improve that to get himself in the mix between the drivers as CDM runs out of ERS. He does a 29.9 on the medium tyres, which isn't a bad lap. Mr. C Rays does a 30.5 on his to go P6, with Cairo Racing now coming up to the line on his. He's just started a lap on his set of softs to see what he can do. He can get up amongst the mix, but SpongeBob is coming to start on that lap as well, so both AvaTauris looking to go back up the constructors. Of they've been kicked right down to 4th place now in the constructors after Aston Martin have taken the lead after last round, with Ferrari, or Haas actually, even P2 and then Ferrari P3. So the AvaTauri team, after leading the constructors almost all season, will be looking to get themselves right back up there and back into the lead as of late. But those Aston Martin boys are going to be hard to stop with such a strong combo of Jesse and Short Marcus. It's not an easy team to take down, that's for sure. So those drivers will be looking to do quite good in the championship. So the two is Little Jim or XD is coming to start his first flying lap. That'll be lap 2. Watch out for. We'll want to see him do a good lap, see where he's going, because that'll be a lap time to really look at. Jonathan Cox put in the top lap time of 28.3 to go, just barely ahead of the Rebel driver of Mitch in P2. SpongeBob coming up now through into the 3rd sector now. He'll go, oh, and he takes a bit too much speed, spins, and he's backwards. That's going to be some possible damage there if he hit it a little bit too hard. Not quite sure if that will exactly be damage. No one's coming up to him on track, so he should be okay in that sense. Cairo Racing managed a 29.8 on his set of soft tyres to put himself P5 for the time being, just ahead of the medium tyre runners, but just behind the Ivola in the Williams in P4, who's now into the pits. SpongeBob obviously won't do a competitive lap on his tyres, and he'll come into the pits to fix up his damage, and he will go out again later in the session. XD coming out through the final sector. He's going to be looking to do a good time. He hasn't put a time on the board yet, but he's on a set of soft tyres, so, and he is a quick driver, so we expect to see quite a good effort from him. He's going to want to come right back up to the field. He's now 4 points behind H Taylor after DNFing from the last round, so he's going to want to look to improve on that there, and he does. He puts in a 28 flat, great lap from XD to go provisional pole for the time being in his Ferrari, and H. Taylor will be looking to stop that when he gets out on track. Chaos, he's invalidated his lap on his set of soft tire, on his set of medium tires, so he won't be putting in a lap anytime soon. Cairo on a cool down lap, I'm sure he's on his way in now. Paul Harrison, another one on a lap. He's flying. He's 9/10 up at the moment. He's done a 30.5, and he's about a second up on that as he comes through the third sector. He's going to come up to the last corner now. He'll go onto the straight. Is he going to improve? It's looking competitive. There's a bunch of debris on the exit of the last turn, and he's just flicked it off of the track. Luckily no puncture or nothing there, but he improves to a 29 flat and puts himself P5, 2 positions ahead of his teammate. Then sure, Marcus is on a purple lap now. He's put himself amongst the mix of these top 3, and he's coming flying now. He had a few rough rounds after his win at Silverstone, but after the Christmas break he's come back and he's put in a stellar effort to get some great results of, I think, 2 P2s and a win from the Aston Martin man. But as he activates DRS, he'll get a bit of slipstream from the AlphaTauri to help his efforts at pole position, and he gets it with a 27.7. Great lap from short Marcus to go 2/10 ahead of XD and onto provisional pole for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Mitch on another lap. He's currently 2/10 up, and he's flying through down this straight. He'll come up to the last corner. Can he improve on his lap? He's so far done a 28.3, which is a competitive lap alone, but he's going to be looking to improve it if he wants to have a go at pole position. He'll activate DRS, come down the straight. He'll hold as tight of the line as he can. He's out of ERS. He improves by 3/10 and goes just barely ahead of XD into P2 with a 28 flat. Great lap from Mitch to put himself up there. Jesse in his Aston Martin looking to join his teammate on that front row. He is flying through this through the second sector now. He's coming up to the third. He's behind his teammate. Alright, cool. He's flying behind his teammate, getting a slipstream. Teammate helping him out. An absolute treat there. He's 4/10 up, flying into the third sector now. Doesn't want to invalidate, and he hasn't. It should be clean sailing from here as long as he takes the final corner nice and easy. A 4/10 improvement could see him P2 and along his teammate on that front row. If he improves by enough, it could even be pole position. What is it going to be for the Aston Martin man? Jesse comes down the straight. He might even get a slipstream from the Alfa Romeo in front. Doesn't look like he does, and it's a 28 flat to put himself P3 ahead of XD, but just behind Mitch, and on the second row, right behind his teammate off the start so far. H. Taylor still yet to do a lap, but he's currently on one now. He's coming up to the line. He's invalidated, so he's gonna go again. If he doesn't get a lap in, that could be huge in terms of the championship. But of course, with this track being so tight, and there could easily be a safety car in the race, which can mix the grids up if he's at the back. The Red Bull of speed.
Brock, can you hear me now, mate? I might be on.
Are you heard on stream?
Yeah, can you find out for me?
Alright, got you.
Just let me know.
Alright. I just want to try to take it anyway, just in case you can.
So I've just jumped on your stream and said something, and I'm pretty sure that I heard my voice over your commentary, so.
You're good. Take it away. I gotta post the link up.
Okay, cool. Okay, who have we got out? We've got Lil Jim in his Ferrari. I think he's on his out lap.
He's currently on a flying lap actually, or an in lap even. He's gone through sector. He's a 10th and a bit up, so he might be having a go at pole position here if he can do a good enough lap without invalidating.
Okay, you stick with Lil. I'll go on board with Paul Harrison on his outlap, seeing as he was my teammate last week in Tier 1. I'll stick on that.
XD's flying at the moment. We'll go on board with him, and he's Ferraris. He comes up to the 3rd sector now. He's a 10th and a half up, just over. KRC, beautiful lap from KRC to do a 27.5 and put himself in provisional pole.
2 temps up on short Marcus.
Great lap to see the McLaren driver take provisional pole position for the time being, but XD is going to try to stop that as he comes through the last corner now. Can XD stop the McLaren driver from getting pole position, or at least short Marcus from making any more points on him? And no, he's actually going to come into the pits and put on a fresh set and go out for one more at the end of this session. Paul Harrison a bit up, but he invalidates his lap, so that's going to be he's only going to get one more chance to that as Caro runs very wide through there.
Okay, so we've got from P2 to P7 all in the pits at the moment. We've got KRC. He's still out on track. Is he going again?
KRC, it would be close. KRC might just about have the time to come into the pits and change tyres if he wants to, so he does have that choice, but everyone's going to be waiting until the end now to do their final laps.
Okay, we've got, I'm just going to call him Larshall in the Williams. I think he was in Tier 2 of us then, he might be reserving.
Yeah, it looks like he is. You're usually in that seat, but of course tonight you'll be commentating alongside me, so he's taking the chance to take up that seat, looking to put in a good show in that Williams. He's currently on a flyer, coming through the last corner now. This could be a good lap from the Williams driver. Looking at the delta though, it looks like he's a bit down. Jonathan saying chat, he doesn't have much pace tonight is what he would like, so
Larshall up to P11, that pushes Chris down into P12, but he's in the pits currently, put on a new set of tyres. Who have we got? We've got Short Marcus and Mitch currently on outlaps. Jesse has just came out the pits. We've got yellows in sector 1, that's just somebody getting out the way. Larshall. And George has retired from the session as he had a
he would have DNF there, but a purple first sector I think that was for Cairo there, as he's flying on his lap. He's a little bit up, of course he's done 29.1 so far, so it's going to require a good effort. But he cuts that corner a bit too much, invalidates his lap, and if he takes it, he can back off now, save some ERS and go for one last run. H. Taylor though, he's only going to get one more chance of this, and he has not set a lap yet, so he does not want to invalidate this as much as he would want to get the pole position. He doesn't want to invalidate his lap and start dead last. It's the last thing he needs this late in the championship. Only 7 rounds left, including this one, to go a fair bit past the halfway point. Now,
the thing is, Brock, Cairo is currently on 3 lap olds off, so they're going to be 4 by the time he comes back round now.
So
if he stays in the top 10, he's going to have to start on those.
So if he does complete this lap and he does do a good lap on these, he's going to have to start on what will be 5 lap old tyres when he's done with this. So he's going to have to hope for an early safety car to allow him to pit and get off those tyres and onto a fresh set to put himself even running with the rest of the people. But for now, it doesn't look like he cares. He's still pushing.
If I was Cairo now, I'll just come into the pits and hopefully someone goes quicker, because we've got Larshall in P11 who's only 2 temps down on him, so that could easily be found. Yeah, Cairo's in the wall, so
yeah, he was 4,
I guess it doesn't really matter.
He was 4 tenths down to the first sector anyway, but someone who isn't down, H. Taylor's just had a purple first sector, so he's flying on his lap. He doesn't really care too much about invalidating. He just wants the pole position time. KLC holds it as he doesn't go out again. He's happy with his 27.5. and he sets a purple sector 2 against H. Taylor, going on for a provisional pole, almost right flirting with the track limits there, almost invalidates, but keeps it just inside track limits up to the final corner. He'll come. This could be a great lap for H. Taylor to put himself on pole position for the race. Through the last corner he'll come. Delta's looking good. He'll hold it tight up the line. XD's done with his qualifying session. He improved to a 27.8 as H. Taylor does a 27.1. Beautiful lap from
Short Marcus goes P2 with a 127.5. He jumps above KRC. So
great lap from Short Marcus.
So close. 32 1,000ths of a second between Short Marcus and KRC.
Very close episode indeed. Jesse's invalidated his lap, so he's done in the session. Jonathan Cox has retired, he's done, and Truck is in the pits. So that is everyone done for qualifying in this race. So it's H. Taylor who takes your pole position, 4/10 clear of Short Marcus in P2 for pole position. Then KRC takes up his best of the season with a P3 in qualifying, with XD splitting the P2 in the championship of XD in P4. So those top three are within the top four, so things could really spice up in the race now.
I'll be honest, bro, I'm surprised to see Jesse down in P6. I thought he would be a little bit higher up than that.
Yeah, Jesse would
almost a second off Taylor.
Jesse would definitely be a big surprise here in quali. He's usually great on one lap pace, having multiple pole positions in this season, and always being up there in that top 5, top 3 throughout the season. But it's only 6th place. He can bring himself up from there. It's not too far up to his teammate in XD. If he just has a good start, he can get up there. But of course, T1 is also another one
as well. A few people going quicker as saved Caro there, so he's dropped down to P12 now. So if I was him, I would not be starting on those softs.
Yeah, well, he has the option to switch to a set of mediums, but of course with early safety cars being an issue, if he does get an early safety car and he is on those medium tyres, it's going to be a rough finish to that race if he chooses to go on a set of hards, or if he chooses to gamble with the softs. Everyone will.
I think on a track like this, strategy you can't really plan, because like you said, there could be an early safety car. There could be a safety car at any time around here. It's literally any corner you're in a wall. It's possible. So strategy, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, at least early on, isn't going to be a factor. You just need to survive the first few laps around there.
Yeah, the strategy will just be survive the first few laps, stay out of the wall, keep it clean, keep my front wing, and you're good to go, really. Okay.
I mean, I just came in for 3 of them, so that's close to £1 million. I've just cost over.
Good thing you don't actually have to pay real money for that, otherwise you'd be broke after that one.
I'll be paying that. Oh, there we go.
We'll go to the grid now. 5 red lights between the drivers. H. Taylor on pole position, Short Marcus P2, 5 red lights, and away we go in this race. It's a great start from Short Marcus to get himself right beside H. Taylor, but H. Taylor gets the better start after that. And he's contact between the two drivers. Short Marcus
gone down to P6, P7.
Short Marcus P8. Spun by H. Taylor. Wow. Short Marcus spun by H. Taylor there and drops all the way down to P16 now as he gets and he spins again. It goes from bad to worse for the Aston Martin
drive-through. He's jumped the start.
Wow.
That's a nightmare for him.
Great start though from XD after DNFing out of the last race. He puts himself into P2 behind H. Taylor, and he'll look to stick with H. Taylor. Of course, it's quite easy to stick with cars around here with the DRS. If you drop out of the DRS though, then you start to lose a lot of time, so you need to stick within that DRS. But if you do, it's not that difficult. It's quite hard to lose it, as there's 3 DRS zones around this track too, which are quite long.
Okay, just looking at the position change early on, we've got Paul Harrison up 4. He's the biggest winner, along with SpongeBob for up to P12 from P16. Short Marcus down 15, so that is an absolute nightmare for him. Did you see what happened? Because I was on board with speed because when he jumped the start.
So we're watching that off the start. H Taylor and Short Marcus got a great start to get the run into T1, and he just jumped the curve a bit too much, hit the side of H Taylor and spun himself right on around. And as he was coming back through, spun again.
Doing his drive-through penalty.
So it's at least another position there for Short Marcus. Actually, Short Marcus may not even get that position on the Red Bull driver, so both those drivers will stay as they are. Yeah, H Taylor's
right behind.
H Taylor's managed to pull 1.2 seconds on XD, so he's pulled enough of a gap. XD needs to bring those 210s back in. KLC behind, and you can see the train starting to perform now. It was a great quality lap by the McLaren driver, but reality starts to hit as he's got Jesse behind him. Great start from Jesse as he's P4 with the incident from Short Marcus. He's managed to gain in position through that, and he's managed to jump the Red Bull driver of Mitch as well, and now look towards passing the McLaren.
Okay, so we have Cairo in P9 currently, and then the train behind him, there's about 5 cars all in the space of a second and a half. Oh, and someone's making a move. Was that CDM? He's looking at the back of Chris.
It could very much be.
As well. Needs to be careful.
The driver's running very close to the back, basically pushing the Alfa Romeo driver. CDM is looking to get up there with his teammate. Around the outside he'll go.
There's Alfa in the way. He was going to make the move. Oh, he's gone. He's gone for
it. But a bit wide. Oh, and there's contact between the two.
Oh no, that could be a virtual safety car at least.
And there's some debris left on the track there. Contact between the two drivers, and that will be the Alfa Romeo.
I'm surprised there's not there's no yellow flags, no safety car, which obviously
no damage for CDM by the looks of things, so he got away lucky from that. Short Marcus sets the fastest lap despite being last as Mr. Series picks up himself a 3-second time penalty early on. Not what you want this early in the race. H Taylor and XD both pulled outside DRS, so they'll be looking to pull away from the field, but it's been an interesting start so far, seeing contact between 4 drivers so far between H Taylor and Short Marcus, and then Chris and CDM. So
I think what caused that, obviously CDM and Chris were trying to make a move on each other, but there was an Alfa Romeo, and an Alpha Tauri of SpongeBob in the way. So I think CDM had to pull out of it, and that allowed Chris to close back and go down the inside. It was just a bit of a mess in the end. But unfortunate, but there's a long way to go. Safety cars could bring them back in.
As we actually look back, Mitch is going for a move on Jesse around the outside. Same corner. Last time this happened, there was contact. They keep it clean though.
Squeeze.
They'll both be using all their ERS down the front straight. Looks like Mitch just has that little bit more to use, and Mitch manages to get himself ahead of Jesse, and now he will look towards the McLaren driver of KLC as XD has dropped right back to KLC, and KLC now has DRS range, but it just looks like KLC has had a beautiful first sector there because
CDM's in the pit. Maybe he did have damage.
So he did get damage. Thought he could drive with it, but it was too much for him, and now he'll be another driver preying on that safety car. But with that, Short Marcus now goes up to P13, so he just needs to keep chipping off these free positions here and hope for a safety car to bunch up the field and then have another stab at H Taylor. But the gap's just growing between H Taylor and P2. He's done well to pull him outside DRS this early, but now it means the train's starting.
Truckee is round in sector 2. Oh, has he lost his wing? Has he saved it? He's still going. CDM's just picked up a 3-second time penalty as well, so not the greatest of couple of laps for him. Trying to see if Truckee has damage. He seems to be okay.
Well, there's a train starting to form now behind XD. Just only a 4-car train, but they've all got DRS and they're all going to be looking to put themselves in the podium positions or even go for the win, because XD's closing up to H Taylor. He's only got 2 tenths to go and he's within DRS range, and he's going to want it because he can feel the pressure now of KRC behind him. A little bit of a mistake from XD and he'll be in the wall. So he's got to try and avoid that at all costs.
Right. We've got Paul Harrison's just made a move on Mr. C. Reese into P7, but then immediately did pick up a 3-second time penalty. So
whether he has to give that position back or not, he had to go off track to get the move done, but they allowed him to hold the move, so he'll be, whether that was worth the risk or not, we'll have to see.
Jesse right on the back of Mitch, who in turn is right on the back of FTH KRC, sorry. Mitch goes wide. Jesse going to try and close up now.
So come up.
The DRS train could be difficult.
Yeah, with two DRS zones right after each other, it makes overtaking very easy to do between the two drivers. XD just outside H. Taylor's DRS still. He's pushing as hard as he can to close up, but KRC has got some beautiful pace in this race at the moment. He's definitely put in some good practice for this. He doesn't close up enough into the last corner, but he might be able to make it happen down the front straight. Overtaking to T1 isn't always easy going side by side through there, but if you can do it right, if you can get yourself well alongside, he may be able to just make that move happen. The McLaren driver closes into the outside. He goes under brakes. No contact between these two drivers. Oh, but he picks up a 3-second.
Right, he's going to make it 3 wide. No, he backs out. This is helping Jonathan Cox as well. He's in P6. And this train, he's close right up to the back of it now. He's getting 2 seconds. So, we've got another one joining the party.
Not only has it helped Jonathan Cox, but it's helped H. Taylor, as H. Taylor's pulled himself back a bit more of a gap, and XD even further out of DRS range, so that's a bit more breathing room for H. Taylor, but KLC doesn't care too much. Yeah, he's all over the back of XD as George picks up a 3-second as well. A lot of drivers already with penalties, proving just how difficult it is to keep it within track limits around here.
Yeah, we have a lot of free. George currently has the most on 6. Oh, KRC going down around the outside.
Here he goes.
He's got that one done, I think, unless there's a move. No, he's got it done.
Not a smart choice though, because now XD's going to come right back at him with DRS and he'll sail past, and maybe Mitch as well. So not a smart choice. Oh, there's almost contact as Mitch tries to go to the inside, but it doesn't work. He'll have to stick behind the Ferrari man, but a poor choice. Again,
everyone else going to have DRS behind.
Oh, there's contact between Jesse. Oh, contact between the McLaren and the Aston Martin. George is out of the race. VSC deployed, and a bit of breathing room for these drivers in this train. I'm sure XD is happy with that, because he had Mitch all over him, and not what KRC would have wanted there. He got them.
Taylor's lead as well has just evaporated. He was up to 1.9. Obviously, it's going to be a 16-car train. By the time it's only a virtual actually. Yeah, it's only a
VSC. They've only called out a VSC freeze DNF, which is good. We don't really want too many safety cars. Of course, it'd be nice to bunch back up the field if the field splits up too much. But in these early laps, these drivers are just going to be looking to survive and get themselves onto their medium tyres.
Not too bad of a timing, to be fair, for that virtual safety car, lap 7.
If some of these drivers can get around and get a pit stop in, you know, we could see something. As we actually look back, Short Marcus has done so that could actually be something that brings him right back into the fight. To pit under VSC, Short Marcus, Speed and Truck and CDM actually have all chose to pit under that VSC. Whether these front drivers will get back around again, I don't know, and they actually might have been quite a long VSC as there they go. They're back underway.
I think Short Marcus just pulled the blinder there.
Yeah, well,
he's just getting quite a lot of time. Plus, we know how good he is on the tyres. Their mediums can go to the end now.
There he goes, straight up to P11. Short Marcus flying his Velars, dropping through the field.
Jonathan down the inside of KRC. He's up to P5. That was a good move.
Great move from
XD
Jonathan.
is going to take Mitch for P2. Yeah, he's got him under DRS. Is Mitch going to have a go? No, Mitch stays behind wisely. And Taylor, 1.5 seconds in the lead again, so not too bad. He's lost a couple of tenths under the VSC on the Delta, but he's not done too bad.
these drivers can play their cards right, they can definitely catch up to H. Taylor, as they are doing so. They use the DRS to their advantage, work with each other, they can close right up to the Haas driver, but of course not easily willing to work with each other unless they're really teammates. But none of them have their teammates right up with them. They're all in separate teams. As Mr. C. Reeves makes a move for P7 down the inside of Paul Harrison. He gets the cutback, Paul Harrison does, and he'll have to have the outside for the next corner.
We
doesn't quite get it done.
In fact, I'm thinking if Kieran and the Haas are in P7, if he can make up a few moves, he can potentially help his teammate out who's in P1. Oh, don't stick your nose down there, Jesse. That was so
scary
close.
move from Jesse. Bold, but scary. That drops him outside DRS. Very close between Jonathan Kloxman. Wow, very, very close. Ooh. Weaving all over the place there, trying to find a spot to get a move done. And XD's loving this. XD's pulled him out of DRS range now, and he can go right towards H. Taylor.
Jesse with DRS is gonna get Mitch back. Sorry, bro.
They go 3 wide into T1, but Jonathan's trying the outside. Oh, squeezed out, pushed right on out on exit. He doesn't get the move done that time.
KRC is he's gone off. That was never on with KRC, but he's going to try and stick on the back of Jonathan here in the Alpine. Stay on board.
Yeah.
Short Marcus with a fastest lap, and then immediately Cairo with a 3-second time penalty. I think that's his. Where is he? That's his first. So.
We're starting to see the field split up now as they're fighting and all dropping out of DRS range. They're just holding on to Jesse's at the moment. Oh no, as I say that, commentator's curse, he spins. Mitch spins into the wall, he goes, loses his front left end plate, and he will have to pit to replace that. Commentator's curse drops Mitch down to P10, and that's probably what looks like another position for Short Marcus, and Short Marcus back in the points.
Going for the move on Jonathan Cox, he's got him
around the outside. Simple move, good move. That's how it's done there. You sail right on past, no contact. There's some debris sitting on track there. That could be a bit dangerous if some drivers going too wide.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that the VSC hasn't been called out there, to be fair.
As Jesse's gone for a move down the inside of XD there, he's gotten the move done, surprisingly. And Jonathan Cox.
From Paul Harrison on Cairo. This is for P6. Yeah, he's defended that well. Cairo's dropped back by half a second there. Okay, well, so we got battling. We got XD right on the back of Jesse, just half a second. He has DRS, but he's not going to get it done into this short zone. I'm going to stay on board with these two because we're coming into the long DRS now, so let's see if XD can stick there.
This is going to be a battle to watch, of course. The top 3 now are actually the top 3 in the constructor standings. Aston Martin leading the constructors after the previous round. At Austria, Haas P2, and then Ferrari P3. So they'll be looking to improve. AlphaTauri want to get themselves back up at fighting with those guys, but they're just struggling to finish it in those top positions like they were the past few rounds.
XD has his DRS open. Jesse's a bit vulnerable.
Here
Is he going to get it done? Can he go around the outside?
Seeing people do it so far.
Gives him room, just enough room.
You have DRS again, and he should get it done nice and easily now. No fighting. Oh, they're both coming into the pits.
No, what are you doing, boys?
Side by side into the pits. Oh
could
my
be a speeding for both of
God.
them. Oh no, it's a severe collision. Jesse did run into the back of Lord Gem. I'd like to see the
side by side into the pits. That is.
What? Come on, boys.
Oh, wow.
I was scared for a second then.
It's not that difficult to back out into the pits, but I mean, no driver ever wants to have to back out, and that just goes to show there.
I don't know whether Jesse got it for a severe collision, and there's one for
if you check the race director, you should be able to see.
Yeah, Little Jim's got 5 as well, so I think his might have been speeding, and Jesse's just picked up another 3 seconds as well, so that's 8 seconds in the space of a couple of corners.
So that's gonna make some other drivers quite happy, as SpongeBob's actually pushed himself up into P3 amongst all this on his medium tyres. He'll be going to softs after this, try to fly his way up through the field. As XD and Jesse still going
Taylor
at
and
it.
Jonathan Cox still on the tyres they started with. They're on 10 lap old softs now, so they should be coming in anytime soon, I would think.
Yeah, Jesse all over the back of XD. Come up the back
down the field. That is our closest, but I think Mitch has just clipped the wall as well, down in P12.
Oh, it's from bad to worse for him.
I think this is the top 2 are in. They're going to stick on some mediums to the end. The only battle we have on track really is Jesse and XD, so we may as well both stick on board with it.
Yeah, DRS. Here goes Jesse for a move down the inside. Is Jonathan Cox going to come out amongst this? Has he overcut the 2 drivers? You know he has, and he'll come out actually behind KRC. So there's disqualified from the session is Jonathan Cox for too many penalties. Must have run wide.
I didn't see that many.
He must have run wide out of the pits and gotten a penalty, but not what Jonathan Cox would have wanted, and he would be gutted after that. He just came in chat, he said, what the hell is up with that? Disappointing for Jonathan Cox. He will not be happy with that.
He was doing so well. He's up to P6 and right on the back of KRC, so that's unfortunate, but XD has just picked up 3 seconds. He's up to 8 now. I think SpongeBob hasn't pitted yet, I don't believe. Let me just check his tyres. Yeah, he's on 11 lap hold, so Taylor is the only one running currently in the top 7 who doesn't have a penalty. So that's perfect for him. Yeah,
so Taylor's doing great here. No penalties for him, so even if these drivers behind catch up, race him, whatnot, he doesn't have a penalty, he doesn't have a worry. Another one who doesn't have a penalty, Short Marcus. He could come flying right back through the field after a terrible early laps. Short Marcus has always had great race pace throughout the season. Always does a good job to avoid those penalties, and
Jesse with the fastest lap at 1:30.3, so he's flying. I think with Short Marcus and Taylor, the only guys in the top 8 without penalties, I think a safety car here, Short Marcus could jump all the way up to P2 by the end of the race if he keeps his nose clean. We have yellows in sector 1. Can't see anything.
Oh, and there's Short Marcus getting his first time penalty, so unfortunate for him as he runs wide again. But I'm pretty sure what happened with Jonathan Cox is he just ran wide going out of the pits, and unfortunately with the way Codemasters do that is it's an insta 5-second time penalty, I believe, or something like that, and what it's done is it has given it to him. He's gone a bit over the limit with penalties, and it's disqualified him from the race.
I think Truckee is just retired, unless I've missed that.
He
just
has
left the session.
Indeed. So yeah, he has retired. Somehow, not quite sure how though.
Okay, who've we got? Still not many. Yeah, the only battles we've got literally is Jesse and XD, which I think, to be honest, is going to go right to the end of the race.
Yeah, it's always great seeing these quick drivers battle, keeping it clean. But look at Jesse, his lights flashing, he's running low on ERS compared to XD. XD just has that little bit more to play with.
Jim, but he's got it, and he just needs to stick in the DRS. I think they're just going to keep swapping positions through the DRS zones. One of them needs to. If whoever's more consistent, just don't make mistakes, and because this DRS zone is so powerful, especially the one leading to the pit straight as well.
Yeah, well, it's easy to lose a lot of time battling too. If I was these 2 drivers, I'd focus more on catching H. Taylor. Although he doesn't have penalties, nothing's stopping him from getting penalties later on as he hits the wall there. Oh, H. Taylor cutting it close to the wall. He doesn't, nothing too big there, but he does clip the wall a little bit. And all these drivers closing right in on SpongeBob as he's still yet to pit, but he should be in on the next lap, or hopefully he'll be looking for a safety car to open back up his race.
Yeah, safety car for him would be perfect right now, but I think he's running out of time to get one, because if I was him, I'd be coming in maybe this lap or next lap, because those softs, I think they can last 10 laps pretty easily, I'd say.
Yeah, tyre wear isn't an issue around here. It's something
Jesse's
I've
looking
noticed.
to make a move.
So
He's a bit far back though, actually.
He might not get anything done here. He doesn't have the ERS to play with that XD does, so he just sits behind for the time being, which surely he wouldn't want, but they get very close to the back of each other, and McLaren gets out of the way.
Good lad. Yellows, I think. Is that just for CDM going slow? We have Paul Harris in the pit. He's only on 3-lap old medium, so he must have damage. He's changing his wing.
Yeah, he would be. He's gone to set us off till the end.
No wing change, just
odd strategy then from, as Mr. T races in too, but odd strategy then from Paul Harrison to switch into a set of softs almost instantly. Of course, you could probably do 2 sets of softs in this race if you were allowed to, quite easily, but of course they don't actually allow that in the race because you will be disqualified if you do so.
I think a few of these guys now will be praying for a safety car.
Yeah, SpongeBob is going to want to pit now to avoid having to battle H. Taylor, because if he stays out one more lap, I'm pretty sure he will be caught by the Hash driver quite easily, as he's on 14-lap old mediums, whereas H. Taylor's are only 2 laps old.
In sector 2. What's going on there?
He is in. There he is.
Oh, CDM, he obviously he's been lapped, but he's looking to overtake Jesse now. I'm not too sure why he's doing that. He's been lapped.
His car's, the car's ghost anyway, so it's not too much, but it's distracted Jesse and he's around.
This is why the rule is, if you've been lapped, even if you're ghosting it is so off-putting. I think Jesse is going to be absolutely fuming with that.
It's very annoying having a car halfway inside yours, and it ruins your visibility. And you can see there he just went a bit too deep, hit the back of XD and spun it. So whether that's a penalty, and he's spun again. Oh, it's
Jesse's tyres. He's lit those tyres up.
His rears will be absolutely gone. So it just shows what that can do. Whether that'll be a penalty for CDM or not. He's helped his teammate out of treat, but. Yeah, unfortunate, but the Alpha Tower is coming right up through the field.
Gone round the outside.
And
Jesse's just getting
SpongeBob.
swamped now. He's lost 2 places to both
SpongeBob.
AlphaTauris.
Gotta keep a good eye on SpongeBob here. Fresh set of soft tyres, only 9 seconds off of Cairo.
Paul Harrison's gone. Paul
KRC.
Harrison's gone. We have yellows.
Safety car
Looks
would
like
be
we're gonna be
perfect
okay.
for SpongeBob. He would take the lead, I believe. And he's on a fresh set of softs. But nothing happens
Get
there.
one.
So
CDM now looking to do the
safety
same
car.
on XD. He's looking to overtake him. I don't know if he's listening to your stream, mate, but he needs to stop that nonsense.
Yeah, if their team orders there at AlphaTauri as Cairo lets through his teammate on the fresh set of soft tyres, and we've got to keep a good eye on SpongeBob as he's going to be flying through the field now. Short Marcus has found his way back up to P6. He's going to have to make up as many positions as possible as both H. Taylor and Xero
There's so
ahead
many
of him.
people in this. Oh, and Jesse has gone down the inside of Short Marcus. Yeah, we have 4 cars in the space of... Oh, 3 cars, sorry, in the space of a second. Cairo under big pressure now from both Aston Martins.
And look at SpongeBob go absolutely flying on those soft tyres. Could very easily be a podium here. And because the 2 Aston Martins have dropped, and with H. Taylor and XD not having their teammates in the points in this race, it could allow AlphaTauri to retake that lead in the constructors if they do well enough here. So they're looking to fight right back on. They might not have the drivers, but they could very easily have the constructors with the consistency that team has.
Okay, Taylor has pulled out nearly 4 seconds on XD. That's without the penalties. He's looking good as long as he keeps out the wall. He is well in control of this one. So we have Jesse right on the back of Cairo with DRS. He's gonna should make this pretty easily. Oh, did he miss a gear? Looked like he missed a gear then.
No. Possibly, but good thing for XD though is the fact that although he has that extra 5 seconds, he's almost got 5 seconds on KRC behind, and every driver behind him has 3 seconds. If they pick up one more, it could end quite badly for them, as you know, having
XD
one
just
penalty.
needs to keep it clean now. He could still take P2 if he keeps it clean. Oh, yeah. KRC's just got 3 seconds as well.
So yeah, all he's got to do now is just keep it clean. SpongeBob's flying at the moment, but as long as he takes it easy, doesn't get himself any more penalties. I know he would love to push towards H. Taylor, but H. Taylor doesn't have any penalties, and it's just not worth the risk of pushing towards him if it's not really going to gain you anything.
Series has just picked up the fastest lap for 1:30.1, but he's currently out the points. But I'm not sure who had it. I'm hoping it wasn't his teammate, because he's just took a point off him. But he's currently
I believe it might have been SpongeBob who had it, or I think maybe KRC or someone up the top just had it. But if I was XD here, I wouldn't be worrying too much about CDM. Let CDM have the position. He's benefiting from DRS anyway, so if he stays ahead of the lap car, he's just going to get DRS. But CDM, he goes straight back past CDM, and both these cars still going at it despite one being lapped. Oh, there goes CDM, and there goes that being stopped.
Marcus is going around the outside of Cairo. Can they keep it clean?
Oh, it goes too deep. Oh, just narrowly misses the back. It just narrowly misses the back of Cairo, but Short Marcus wants to get as high up as he can, stop as many points being put against him as possible, because he's just put himself back in a decent gap of those drivers ahead. But
yeah, blue flags flashing. CDM getting out of the way, I think. Yeah. Okay, so Marcus has just got a real Cairo back in there, all that hard work just undone. It was a good effort, but needs to try again.
Yeah, he's dropping back now. He might be outside DRS range even. He's holding just barely onto
just
it.
Outside.
So, just outside now, yeah. So, not what he wants, but all these drivers starting to spread out now. The field starting to spread itself out. Everyone dropping outside a second, except for the two Red Bull drivers who are sticking with each other. Short Marcus has done just enough to hold onto it for the time being, though.
That is the only battle we've got on track currently. I mean, we've got Short Marcus closing again on Cairo. I think he has DRS now. Yeah, he's got the DRS, but he's literally just inside it, so I don't think he'll get close on the pit straight.
He has the ERS advantage as well, though, which is something to keep in mind, but he also has to relap older tyres, which is going to be annoying from him as the Red Bulls.
Carlos had a moment.
The two Red Bulls have switched positions whilst that has happened as well, so
Cairo got a massive wiggle on. It was actually he did well to save that one, but he's under massive pressure now from Marcus. He's going to have DRS.
SpongeBob could be finishing P2 in this race. I think he's pushing well, and he's within 4.5 seconds of KRC on a fresh set of soft tyres. He only needs to finish 5 seconds within XD, but he only needs to finish 3 seconds within KRC, which he can do both quite easily.
We'll keep an eye on that gap. 6 laps to go. I think Taylor, if he keeps that. Oh, he's out. Oh, just as I said it, he's had a big wiggle onto the pit straight, but he's okay. Yeah, as long as he keeps his nose clean, keeps out the wall, he's got this one well in control.
Last
But
thing he
yeah, for the podiums, it's still wide open. Jesse with his 8 seconds. Yeah, I think
here
he's
comes
running out
short
of time.
Marcus though. Short Marcus on Cairo. Gets himself up into P6 quite easily. Cairo won't try to come back at him. He'll wait until the next DRS zone and he sticks behind that Martin driver as he makes his way back up into P6 in this race.
Short Marcus with a better traction out of that corner as well, so he's gonna. What's the gap? Yeah, he's well inside the DRS zone, but it's whether he can make it stick on the shorter one. Let's have a look. Oh, Jesse with another 3 seconds. That is not good for his race.
That could put him under attack by his teammate again, as long as he keeps it clean. Jesse's going to have, what, 11 seconds of penalties now, where Short Marcus only has 3, so not good for the Aston Martin team. SpongeBob picks up 3 seconds.
He did not.
And that is it for SpongeBob too. He can catch KLC and pass him still, but those softs, they still have a lot of life in them, but the softs aren't as quick as what they were earlier on. They're not running around about a second or two a lap quicker like they were previously.
We have Mitch sticking with his teammates, Speed Alcoholic here. I don't know whether they're going to try and race each other or just stick as they are, because they're not really. Yep, Speed's let Mitch go, so no point in fighting. They're both in the points. They're not going to catch the guys in front, so take what you can get, I suppose.
Just work with each other here. Try to minimise the damage, get as many points as you possibly can, and hopefully gain a lot of positions due to the penalties. Don't cost yourself too much time battling one another.
Got Cairo on the back of Short Marcus. Oh, XD's just picked up.
Which brings KLC and SpongeBob right back into it. So just like that, it brings those drivers right back into the fight, as Cairo's taken a bit of an offline through there. He's dropped a bit far back off of Short Marcus.
I think he's just inside. Yeah, he was just inside, but shot the RS zone. Not happening. If he can stick with Short Marcus now, but he does have 3 seconds as well. So even if he passes him, he'd have to build a big gap with 4 laps to go. I'm not sure that's possible. Yeah,
well, SpongeBob has made up a second so far this lap, so if he keeps up this pace, it looks like CDM. No, safety car could be great for some of for really only SpongeBob, because that would give him the lead on his soft tyres, but even the likes of Short Marcus.
Oh, and he's just retired on. He's just crashed into the wall on purpose. He's
gone. No safety car.
He's just DNF'd himself though.
Oh wow, so no safety car, but the DNF from CDM doesn't feel like he can continue on this race, and well, he's out just like that. Get one
with 3 laps to go, you know, because you have to have 2 laps of racing, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's not going to come in within 1 lap, so Cairo's just picked up another 3 seconds.
Yeah, last thing we need here is another Abu Dhabi situation where it's a last minute safety car and these guys are bunched up right towards the end of the race, but there's only 2 laps left there, or 3 laps left including the current one, so the last thing they want is to introduce a safety car which can take up the field that much.
I think we're good on that one.
Yeah.
If we got anybody close,
it's really just the 2 Red Bull drivers at the moment.
Cairo is
he's shot right back, so
Short Marcus now.
It doesn't look like SpongeBob's closing enough.
No, I think those soft tyres have seen better days now.
Yeah, and he's not running the best on his DRS, whereas I'm sure KSC's saving a good amount in 3rd place at the moment. But,
and Mitch has been passed by his teammate, so I don't know whether that was on, legitimate or some team orders going on, because he did let him pass before, didn't he? So maybe they're just re-swapping it round. So.
I think they're just trying to do some damage limitation here. Make sure they don't drop too far back so that they can gain as much positions as possible with the penalties. And these guys just working together, trying not to cause too much chaos amongst themselves.
I'm not. I think they could be racing because Mitch was up on his DRS there and he was looking down the inside of Speed. So maybe they
2 laps left. Yeah, last 2 laps. They might decide they want to fight now. They don't want to concede position anymore. It's not like they're protecting themselves from anyone behind. Closest person behind, or wide from Speed Alcoholic, 3 seconds to his name, and he lets through his teammate. So yeah, it doesn't look like they are fighting.
Mitch does have 2 extra seconds of penalties as well, so if Speed can stick within 2 seconds, he's taking that place back. It's whether he's going to let him. I don't think so.
Keeps it.
Right behind him.
He's just got to keep it mistake free at this point. Anyone who can keep it mistake free should be able to keep on the back here with no penalties, no issues, nothing like that. He should stay quite easily on the back of Mitch and put himself back up into PA in this race.
Taylor has just started his final lap.
And it's not looking like SpongeBob's getting close enough. Taylor, he's driven beautifully from start to finish, done well to be not one of the only drivers apart from Villar who hasn't gotten a penalty, so they're driven very well. They're a bit of lag. Oh my god. bit of lag on my screen, and it showed H. Taylor going right into the wall and then lagging right back on track. Got to see that from my point of view. That was a bit scary there. Oh wow.
SpongeBob's picked up another 3.
Another 3 seconds, pushing a bit too hard there. So that's him done with this race.
Yeah, they are going for it.
Yeah, but
Speed is still in front. Just keep it at the wall, boys. Keep it. We don't need a Vettel incident.
Yeah, they just need to keep it clean, not fight too much. They are fighting around the outside. Speed doesn't want to let it happen. They're being respectful towards each other. They don't want it to crash.
I'll see Taylor across the line.
Yeah, H. Taylor, he's done well. He's driven beautifully from start to finish. No one could fault his effort today. Consistent and quick. He's driven the second stint beautifully. And H. Taylor wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Beautiful drive by the Ash driver to come home in the lead. XD comes home P2 to minimise the amount of points H. Taylor gains on him. Beautiful drive from KRC to go up into P2 in the end still.
Yeah, we gotta keep an eye on these penalties now.
KRC goes up into P2. Season best result there from KRC, so round of applause to him. Great drive from him. SpongeBob takes P4 ahead of Short Marcus P5. Jesse takes P6. Cairo P7. Speed Alcoholic beats his teammate to P8. Mitch P9. I don't know if I'm seeing that right, but it says that Speed Alcoholic and Mitch were dead even. No gap between the two drivers. So whether that's right or not, I'm not quite sure.
I've just got two red downward arrows on my screen.
Yeah, and they're even. So those two finished dead even across the line. That's a great effort from those two drivers to do that. But it's Chris P10, Series P11, and Villar will come home P12. But yes, great drive. Effortless drive from H. Taylor to take a 17-second win.
To be fair from Taylor.
Got to be one of the most dominant wins of the season there, to take 17 seconds ahead of the people around him. Great drive from him, and season best for the KSC
as well. I think SpongeBob. I think he was down in P16 by the end of lap 1. So. Well, he's done really well to go right up there.
I think SpongeBob just struggled in quality. He qualified outside the top 10. Started on those mediums and just flew from there. But Short Mark's another driver who did quite well to come from spinning after lap 1, going to dead last after spinning twice and then bringing his way back up to P16. He's definitely done very, very well indeed. But much deserving for everyone on that podium. Whether the 5 second will be taken off XD or not with that collision, or if he got speed in the pit lane, it won't be taken off. But if it was for the collision, we could be looking at some penalties taken.
I think there's going to be a few reports, maybe not on each other, but these track limits and pit lane penalties and collisions. I'm interested to see that that pit lane collision that we saw before. I want to see
Yeah,
that again.
we'll have to look back on that, but it is a possibility that they collided going into there, and there was a 5-second for collision, so they would have collided, but very much close. Neither of them wanted to back out.
Well,
yeah. But with that being said, that is it done for round 10 around the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Not sure what round is next, actually. I have to check that, but Singapore, that's got to be an interesting round. Another street circuit. Good luck keeping it out of the wall around there. I know I'm going to be DNFing, but I'll catch you guys for that one.